Oh, greetings, friends. Your pal, your cartoonist pal, Stan here. No one saw that little mistake at the beginning, right? That was just me. Yeah, whatever. Welcome to a brand new episode of 50 Years in the Dungeon, the work in progress style episode where I'm going to be doing some drawing. I'm going to be finishing up or doing further work on a drawing I began in an early episode. David Schwartz says, "Ignore the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The great Oz has spoken. The great Stan has spoken." You know what? I did that. I haven't done that in a while. Where I got everything all set up and I just hit go live, and I forget to switch the broadcast scene to the countdown. That'll happen. Oh, look at that. Just shaved a little earlier. Apparently, little Nick. We'll pull the shirt up so we don't see it so bad. This is a show sometimes where I'm doing interviews with folks who have worked on tabletop role-playing games and other hobby games. The show started as a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the creation of tabletop role-playing games with the initial publication of Dungeons and Dragons. It has since grown into a gigantic celebration of all things tabletop gamey and geeky, and just a chance for me to hang out and chat and talk with interesting people. And while I talk to them, I begin working on cartoon homages to classic pieces of gaming art. And then some shows like this one, I don't have anyone that I'm talking to. It's just me kind of talking to myself, and I work on finishing up one of those drawings that I started during an earlier conversation. This week, tonight, right now, is probably this is the last Wednesday live stream of the year. Next Wednesday is going to be Christmas Eve, and I will be busy doing cooking for the feast that I will be going to the following day. And then the following Wednesday will be New Year's Eve, and I will be at a gaming get-together. A group of friends and I have a tradition on New Year's Eve of getting together in the afternoon and gaming until it's time to ring in the new year. So this will be the last Wednesday that I do streaming. It's possible that I might do another stream on a weekend, or maybe during the holiday week, just kind of in the middle of the day sometime. If so, how would you know that? Well, first of all, if you were to go onto YouTube and subscribe, click the bell and subscribe, they will let you know every time I'm going to go live. That's the best, very, very best way to do it. The very close second best is to sign up to be a member of our free newsletter at 50yearsinthe.dungeon.substack.com, because if I'm planning to do something like that, I'll certainly announce it in the newsletter. I'll send out it'll arrive in your email with a little announcement saying, "Woohoo, this is what's going on." It's also the best place to go if you want to do things like see the finished art when it's done for the first time, or have a copy of the incomplete, the work in progress, sent to your email so that you can look at it and enjoy it, use it as a wallpaper or whatever you want. And, of course, get all the updates on who's going to be my guest and what's going on and any of the other news. I should really set up the interview as if I'm going to interview a cartoon version of myself. That sounds like entirely too much work. And I've got to have twice the conversation. Anyway, that's what's going on tonight. It is potentially possible that someone may join me, but I don't think so. I think it's just going to be me chatting and drawing and hanging out with you guys. So, yeah, let's dive into it. I'm going to pull up here and my iPad. I do my work on an iPad Pro with the app Procreate and an Apple Pencil. People ask, so I tell you, none of this is sponsored. I get nothing out of telling you that other than the joy of knowing that I've answered someone's question. And as you see from the promo, the preview, the card, the opening card, our work in progress tonight is based on my interpretation of Jeff Easley's cover for the 1984 Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook, a classic of D&D art. So let's close that out and come up here and open the actual file itself. There we go. That's where it was finished when last we saw it. Here is Jeff's original art. Lovely. It's a print that you can buy on jeffeasley.com or easley.com. I don't remember which it is, but definitely go check it out. Not a lot of background in this one, which may make it quicker for me to do the final finish piece. I spent a lot of time here and on the show focusing on the characters. That's where the fun is, and whatnot. But very often the longest time in doing one of these for me is doing the background, drawing and coloring the background. So this one may go quicker than most. We'll see. Hard to tell for sure. I was looking at this and noting, one of the first things I noted when coming back to look at it again is what I did with the magical effects that Jeff has. Very painterly effects, not very line based. Like my drawings are all line drawings. His are very much tone and well, just all tone. And this one in particular looks like fireworks just shooting off the guy's hand. And I couldn't possibly do that. So I've got my own, I've translated them into line versions. It's a wizard that can twin spells like a sorcerer. One spell is animate hair. He definitely has that hair going on like in some of the Chinese ghost story, Chinese the wushu films. That was the word I was looking for there. Wushu films. Alright, I'm going to close this and reopen it. I sometimes, particularly if you watch on Thursdays, note that I sometimes wind up drawing on the wrong layer. Particularly when you start a new layer, there's a danger of it being undone. And I eliminate that. One of the things about Procreate, one of the challenging things about Procreate, is that you can always move backwards, unless you have closed the file. In which case, although it has a memory of everything that happened, you can't undo it. So if I want to be careful not to undo the adding of a layer, I will just close the file like I did just there, and then know that I can't undo that now. So I won't undo it accidentally. So yeah, the year is getting close to an end. Hard to believe that this is the last available Wednesday to me for doing live streaming. It's been a long year. When we started this year, we weren't quite done with the initial run of the 50 years in a dungeon, I was still doing the one drawing for each D&D, uh, each year of Dungeons and Dragons. Um, and that actually took me into, I think, all the way through February. I was still doing that. Those first 50 drawings, or it turns out it was 52 or 53 drawings because of math and the fact that a year had elapsed in the meanwhile. Um, but then we started immediately into season 2 of the show, where I've been doing not just D&D things, although clearly this one I'm working on is a D&D drawing still. I've done drawings for products from Cobalt Press and Green Ronin and uh, Schwab Games, Schwab Games, yeah. And I'll do others too. I think and something that from Phil Reed. I don't know what he calls his publishing arm off the top of my head. I'm thinking about maybe even doing some that are not necessarily TTRPG related. Maybe some board game or card game stuff. Maybe something that's just comic books. I don't know. It's because my style is so absolutely cartoony. It's I think these work best when I'm interpreting something that is done in a more realistic style and adapting it to my cartoony style. I think that it's less effective when I take something that's already a cartoon and then make it a Stan cartoon. The differences are not as not as extreme. That having been said, I don't mind doing that sometimes too. Mm-hmm. But I think that I'm still going to lean towards mostly doing cartoon interpretations of images that were originally rendered in a more realistic style than my own. This has been an interesting week here in the greater Pacific Northwest, in greater Seattle area and the Pacific Northwest beyond. We've had a whole lot of rain, a crazy amount of rain. And actually, there's been quite a bit of flooding very near to me. Um, like just down the hill. I'm within a mile or two of where a lot of the major flooding has happened here in the South Seattle area. But I happen to live on top of a hill, a big granite hill. And in fact, where I live is the area that they're telling people to evacuate to. So, doesn't mean that I'm necessarily completely out of any potential impact on me, flooding and flash flooding or or such, but it's greatly reduced rate. And if it were, certainly it's more likely to be something like flash flooding if there was one of the rivers on its way down the hill overflowed. But knock on plywood, that hasn't happened. And like I say, I'm in the lucky position that I'm living in the area that they're telling people in the valley they should head toward. I have a couple of friends. I used to live down in the valley. My previous apartment was right down there, right down in some of the areas that have had minor flooding, not the major flooding you may have seen on TV or internet coverage. But I definitely would have been in the danger zone. I definitely would have been in the time for you to evacuate zone. Maybe I could do the cover picture of a D&D video game or a D&D comic book. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The thing, so I'll tell you, one of the things, I don't know that it's always been evident. One of the things I've thought about when doing these drawings and picking what it is that I do the cartoon homages of, I've tried to, for the most part, make them images that feel like they come from inside a game, right? It's images of characters and what they would do during their adventures. Mostly. It's not always 100% true. But I've bypassed some really great pieces of art, which are it's very posy, right? They show great. They look like movie posters, or it's a rendering of a character, not of a scene. Like I say, there are a couple that I've done that do fall into that strike a pose kind of image, but mostly I've stuck to ones which feel like action. Like even this you could say, oh, this is just a wizard, but it's like something that might happen in the story in a game. Suppose if I come out here and we look at some of them, right? The one I just completed last week, that's definitely action. Characters in action. Now, this is the cover of the book. I did this, first of all, I did this because it was, I began it the night before Gen Con was starting, and this was a Gen Con cover. Secondly, it's a kind of a piece of art, a very Art Nouveau style, unlike things you very often see, and I thought it was gorgeous. But here, it feels like action, It's like most of the pieces I've done have been things that felt like in-world scenes. Yeah, these two, I got a little towards the end of the D&D, the 50-year project. My choices were somewhat limited by the fact that there were only 1 or 2 books out. But yeah, so yeah, this one definitely that's a Mordenkainen shot. Not really a action characters in action, but here, most of the images I've chosen to do have been characters in the midst of doing something, as opposed to being very posy. And all of that is coming back to say that a lot of the computer game covers, a lot of book covers, a lot of novel covers, uh, tend to be more posy. You know, the needs of a book cover or a game cover, what they're supposed to inspire, what they're supposed to show, is different than an adventure cover or a TTRPG inspired TTRPG action tabletop role playing game, where you've got to make it. The thing about uh, TTRPGs is no matter what, and I was talking with a friend about this the other day. Um, when you're designing for a game for a TTRPG, you need to remember that you are not writing for any individual character. You're not making a story for a character. You're making a story for everyone's characters to make their own. And that's just a slightly different way of thinking about things. You can't make assumptions about what's motivating a character or any of those things, because it's going to be different for everyone's character, every different player's character, every different group's dynamic. I often liken it to I make a comparison to cooking. You're not making a great meal for people to eat. You're creating a great buffet for people to make their own meal of / from. Let's see what's going on here. Um, Someone in one of my discords had to evacuate complexes right up against the edge of the flooding. Yeah, well, that's tough. It's tough. Um, oh, thank you. Michael says thank you for the last time I gave Michael asked, and I gave a little lesson about how I draw mountains and how I get that uh, um, feeling, particularly mountains in the background. And apparently, it was useful to him. Oh, good. I don't know if you can hear the yappy dog outside. I live right across from a dog park, so all year, whatever the weather, I can be guaranteed that there will be dogs outside my window at some point, yapping and running around. A couple of my neighbors also have dogs, and they take advantage of the dog park quite a lot when their dog is feeling rambunctious. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they don't just let him go out into the park by itself, but yeah. I don't know. And also, I'm not sure whether they let them or take them out when they get riled up, or they rile them up and then take them out. But it's very often true that I'll hear the dog getting, and then the dog will be across the street, which is still also basically in my backyard. This is one of those drawings. So I do, as you will see, four-fingered cartoony hands. Four fingers, not five fingers. A lot. That's my style. I usually do that. Doesn't always work. And there's particularly some hand gestures where it doesn't work the best, or actually the thing is, a lot of the time it doesn't even stand out. A lot of time people don't notice three fingers or four fingers, but here where he's got his hands up like this, you can really tell that I only use three fingers. And I keep wondering whether I should just add in the fourth finger here, the fifth finger here. But I think not. Though if you have any very strong thoughts on this subject, that would be a good time to bring them up. So, as I mentioned, next week I will be getting ready. We have this pretty much the same crew that I get together with for Thanksgiving. A few slightly different uh, construction of that group, but mostly the same people. We also get together. The same folks like to host a Christmas dinner, so we get together again. And so next Wednesday, I will be working on the food that I'm going to be bringing to our gathering. And one of the things I'll be doing is, now for those who don't know, it doesn't really matter because, it in as much as it matters to me, which is not a lot. For those who don't know, I was raised Jewish. I was raised in a Reformed Jewish household, and which is to say, not particularly religious. And my own beliefs have kind of wandered from there into my own beliefs. And though my mother's side of the family, my mother converted to marry my dad, and so my mother's side of the family is still Christian of a couple of different denominations. And so growing up, we celebrated a very, in a kind of mostly secular way, we celebrated both Christmas and Hanukkah. Never celebrated, in fact, Christmas in particular was a very secular celebration, in that we had stockings and gifts. We didn't have a tree. We lit Hanukkah candles and said prayers over the 8 nights, and exchanged gifts on the first couple of nights. So, for me, the holiday season is really mostly about the holiday season and the spirit of it all, and the particulars are not something I feel adamantly about. There are things I like to do each year, but they are more habitual and things that I enjoy rather than things that I hold any great significance to. And one of the things I do every year, and that is all to say, one of the few rituals in my holiday celebration is on Christmas Eve, when I'm getting ready for doing the cooking for the Christmas feast that I will be going to. I listen to the audiobook version of Patrick Stewart's One Man Christmas Carol. I may have brought this up last week. I don't remember. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've never heard it, definitely seek it out. Simon & Schuster published it a while ago. I know it's still available. I know Audible has it available. You may be able to find it other places. You can find it used on CD somewhere. But it is just brilliant. And it is my favorite version of that great classic tale of the holidays. Itself passingly secular. It's not, it's absolutely, it's Christmas, right? And it's about, it certainly talks about church in the story at the end, but the most of the Christmas in the Christmas Carol is about peace on earth, goodwill toward men, not about the baby Jesus part. Now, could be a lot of argument about which, not an argument. It's just, there's so many different ways to celebrate any holiday, particularly these that have been so secularized anyway and commercialized. The commercialization of Christmas, which a lot of people argue against. I suppose I would too. I like the part that has actual love and meaning between people, as opposed to the by presence and such. I don't know. I'm now really blathering here. When I started this, I had a point, and it is long gone. So maybe it's time for me to stop before I say something that I will regret. More likely, just something I wind up not meaning. So when I talk this way, I just kind of ramble like this. I very often, it's a combination of things I'm very certain of and things that I'm thinking through while I'm saying them. And that, I can get myself in trouble with that. I can talk, logic. You know what? The last 5 minutes have been complete BS. Yeah, why did Jeff Easley give the guy a broccoli symbol? I don't know, but look, it is. It's absolutely just like a little broccoli symbol or asparagus. I don't know why that's what he gave him. As often we'll say that we were talking about it with the mountains last week, right? That when I'm drawing these things, I'm doing these interpretations, and I look at the piece more closely than I ever have before, I often will discover these little gems, like the little broccoli emblem. Why does he have a broccoli emblem? I don't know, but he does, and I'm gonna use it. Christmas is Xmas in our family, says Michael. Santa Claus, Rudolph, Charlie Brown. Yes, and as I talked about last week, I love me some uh, holiday season cartoon specials. Um, Talked a lot about that Italian movie, The Christmas That Almost Wasn't. In this week since then, I've gone and watched. I haven't watched the movie, as I was saying last week. The thing is, I watching that movie was not part of my uh, seasonal celebration, but the commercial was on TV in in the New York area all the time. It played in theaters. It didn't play on TV. It played in theaters. And so the commercial would come around every year. And that's why I brought it up to begin with, right? That's what that's why it's part of my. That's why it's such a strong memory to me, is that commercial being on TV. Uh, so I watched the commercial this past week on YouTube a fair bit. Um, all right, so I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do here as I'm doing the inking. The we got a weird bit of depth, right? The effects on the hands. I think I'm going to do as a layer, either just a color layer or a separate colored line layer over the wizard. But then it also comes forward and comes over and around this homunculus's wing. So I don't know whether I should put the homunculus on the same level with the wizard. I think that I am going to do all the creatures on one level and then do probably 5 or 6 different layers of the effects to have them above some things but below others, and create the little sense of depth that's going on here. So, well, you know what I see I didn't do? I didn't draw this guy's arms. This guy coming through the portal here, he's clearly got wings and arms. This guy looks like he's just got wings, but in the drawing, he's definitely got both. So let's come back here, and I'm going to lock the lines layer while I'm off it. And let's see what's going on. I need to put those arms in. Not loving how that's looking right now. So what I'm figuring here is the shape of the arm, right? Zoom in super tight and do it here. So we've got an upper arm and a lower arm, these kind of as tubes, and then the hand coming off it there. So I want to get that feeling like this is coming out of his shoulder there, and then coming forward, and then like that. But then, of course, these lines aren't going to show up at all in the final. But I needed to know where they went. Here is Troy. Hey, Troy. How's it going? Did you text me? I did. Oh, look at that. I got 5 texts from Troy, and my phone didn't ping once. I had reached out to Troy. I had a couple of people who were talking about perhaps coming on and chatting with me tonight, which I don't feel I need. I'm happy to sit here and chat by myself. But it struck me last minute. Oh, you know what? I could ask Troy if he's not doing anything, and if he is, and it's by no means a problem. So I sent him a text, and he was busy doing stuff, and so I started working. Apparently, I missed 5 texts back from him, and he's such a nice guy. He came and joined us here in the chat. Troy, if you're interested in, I can send you a link. You can come and join me live and do some chatting. If not, you can hang out there in the chat room as much as you want. So let me see. Hold on. This is going to be interesting for everyone else who cannot see at all what I'm doing as I find this link here. And I copy it. You know what makes it even better is when I describe what I'm doing and you can't see it. That is really that's the big win. And I paste it and I send it to Troy. Maybe he'll be joining us in a second. Yeah, all right. I'm glad I noticed that. I think that not having that arm there would have been a mistake. I'm looking here at what's going on with that wingtip. Got some weird weird tangents going on here. So I'm going to want that wingtip to come out a little further, like that. All right. Hey, Chris. Glad you could make it. We are just hanging out here on what turns out to be my last Wednesday night live stream of the year. All right, that's looking good. And as I said before, since this is all characters and no background, it's going to go quickly, probably. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to start here with the shoulder blade. Okay. Now, I'm not even sure. Let me see what's going on here. Because I saw a text from Troy. I didn't respond here. I'm going to say here, you can join me if you're free. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that I'm going to get the line inking done pretty quickly of these characters. There's not a lot of them. And not a lot of, just a couple of bits of strange positioning. Otherwise, it's very straightforward. I think this, of all the pieces, the Easley pieces that you think of that are classics, this is one that I think is mostly a classic because it was the cover of the Player's Handbook. And not that there's anything wrong with it, but there's just nothing that um, particularly in, influential or inspirational about it. But as the cover of the Player's Handbook, it was at everyone's table for years. And it feels very inspirational because it is tied with so many great gaming moments for so many people. PHB needs to be fairly generic. I don't know. I mean, it's weird. You look at the different covers of the PHB over the years. It'd be an interesting uh, conversation to have where I'm not doing drawing, but we're just looking at the the images. Maybe get Todd Lockwood or Steve Sullivan or Jeff Grubb or Steve Winter on to be guests while we talk about this. Maybe Zeb Cook. And look at the covers of the different editions of the Player's Handbook. Because certainly the first edition one, it's not generic really. It's an adventuring party after an encounter. The the rogues are in the midst of pulling a heist. It's got that great statue of Morg. This was this was the cover that replaced that. This was the 1984 reprint of the Player's Handbook. It's a new layout. I think they added some stuff to it. Then came the, when it got to second edition, there was what's it, the knight on the steed riding forward with his lance, I think was that the first second edition? No, the first, and then, or was the first one the white? I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. Oh, you know what? One of the things, I did not play a lot of second edition D&D. By the time second edition rolled around, I was mostly playing Villains and Vigilantes and a few other smaller games. I certainly hung around with a lot of people who were playing it. I was very familiar with what was going on in D&D, but I wasn't playing a lot of second edition D&D. So again, interestingly, it's not as didn't play as key a role for me in my personal gaming, but it played a very strong role in my gaming world. And then, as Dave Shepard says, the third edition ones, where the whole um, artistic vision for the line was to have that, make them feel uh, like they weren't painted covers, like these were actual covers of actual tomes. Um, which I think was super effective. It for my project here, for this project, it gave me a lot of problems because there were a lot of books in that era that didn't have cover paintings, or not, certainly not full scale cover paintings, and certainly not ones that matched that um, adventurers in the midst of doing something that I was talking about before. But I loved those faux faux in-world book covers for third edition. I thought they were great. Yeah, Dawn Murin would be a good person to have on to have a conversation about the covers. Certainly, she would be the person to have on for conversations about those third edition covers. She was the art director for the line at the time, and led the art team in doing all of the third edition design. Hello, Linnea Lemon. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it. Hope things are going well for you. I was saying before that I'm putting all the characters on this layer, and I'm going to put all the effects on another layer, or several other layers. But that leaves me the question of what to do in this area where the character is coming into the scene. Is that an effect or is that the character? And I think that's an effect. But then, having said that, I think that I may have finished the line drawings on these characters. Let me see. I think I want to. No, I was trying to decide if these little circly things I had intended as magical effects or as texture on the uh, homunculus, and I think that it's magical effect. There we go. Hold on, I'm going to put my Linnea slides, double slides into chat. Look at you. So sneaky. You're here twice, and I barely noticed. Oh, let me scan here. And pause for a second and stretch. Ah. Oh, I think Troy Hewitt is joining us. Hello, Troy Hewitt. Hold on a second. I need to rearrange things a little bit here. If I switch up to this. Hi, Troy.
Hey, Stan. How are you?
How are you? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm real good. It's the eve of my birthday.
Is it?
The day of my birth.
Happy birthday, Eve. I didn't know that. Or maybe I did, and I won't remember it till tomorrow.
I don't. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, No, I don't really. I don't make a big deal out of birthday stuff, but yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna hang out with family and looking forward to it.
Nice.
Just call me old Ron Meisker.
You oldster.
That's me. Yeah, I saw you call the emergency podcast phone.
The podcast signal went up into the night.
The big P you put up in the sky.
A lot of people mistake that.
Yes, they do.
The big P.
Do. You get all kinds of good things.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It just kind of struck me as I was getting ready to go on air that I didn't have anyone. I was fine with that. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's always fun hanging out and chatting with Troy. I should see what he can do. But I gave you absolutely zero warning.
Yeah. I was in the midst of I will change my name to Ron. I think I like that. Because you always love more Ron.
Right. No, I don't have it on my calendar. Tomorrow is Troy's birthday. I'll have to put that on.
Yeah. So what was I saying? I was saying something.
You were saying something about a moron?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, you've got my name as Ron Meisker.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I'm because I wasn't prepared for you. Hold on.
That's good.
Ron was my guest the last time I had a guest.
I don't know Ron, but I'm imagining he's pretty cool. He's hanging out with
Hewitt.
You. Hey, there I am.
You are Troy Hewitt.
Me. So I was in the midst of editing a couple podcasts for a friend. Yeah, my our buddy, our mutual pal. He and a good friend are doing a fun podcast called You Sure About That? And it sort of digs into some stories and political stuff and things you didn't know. It's really interesting, kind of fun. But Linnea, good to see you. Listen, chat. Enjoy the last day of my youth. Yeah, exactly. That actually happened a little bit ago. Birthday traditions. So I was born on my grandmother's birthday, my grandfather's birthday, and my great grandmother's birthday. So his mom and him and I, and so my birthdays were always just really fun. Grandpa and I would celebrate together, and he has since passed, but it's still a big kind of family thing, and it's just kind of it's nice too because I hear a lot of friends of mine that have December birthdays that are like, my December birthday is like they get
Yeah, they get all
Christmas for
yeah.
yeah the short end of the stick, but that never happened to me, which is kind of nice. But yeah,
All right. So
that's what I'm up to.
for those who are curious, I've decided I'm gonna so I finished the line drawings on the characters. I'm gonna do the flat colors on the characters. I mean, this wizard is so much of him is white and off white.
Yeah.
I'm going to. People may have seen me do this before. If I have to color, well, I very often will say if you want something if you're doing drawing digitally and you want something to be white, you've got to make it white. Don't trust that it looks white because that's the background layer speaking right now. None of
Oh,
this is white. Right now it is all empty. If I turn
I
so,
envy
or
your
it's
airman.
whatever. If I print this on a black piece of paper, it's all going to be
Yeah.
black. If it's used in a digital document with a textured background, it's going to be textured. So if I want something to be white, I have to make it white. But coloring in
Yeah.
white over a white background is sometimes difficult. So what I do is fill it with another layer and then swap it out with white. So I'm going to fill this whole guy in with yellow.
And what are you using again as a program? You're using
I'm
the
using Procreate
yeah. I need
on
to.
an iPad Pro.
Got it. David says, Stan, are you going to bring Troy back later and do your take on his modern age enemies and allies cover? Did you do
What?
a modern age? Did you do enemies and allies? Did you do a cover for Modern Age, Enemies and
No,
Allies? Oh, I think David's requesting that you do.
I don't. I don't. I'm not familiar with Enemies and Allies cover.
It is. I don't think I've seen it. I mean, I don't think I've seen it for a while. Let me
But it's possible. I certainly
look
am.
in the
I
shit.
figure
Oh yeah,
I'll be doing more Green Ronin stuff certainly because you
I
guys have
was.
great covers.
Oh my gosh, and this one is exquisite. It's really nice. It's real good. Yeah, it's got like a big demon like dude, and I think that they look like they're in some kind of a cave. It's got one of the core characters in the white suit. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, then the answer is quite possibly.
I like
I
it.
I haven't figured out
Yes.
what I'm gonna do. You know what? I've been saying a few times this is the last show for the year, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the next two Wednesdays I will be doing something, and then
Right.
it'll be a new year. Um, but I haven't figured out any of my plans for next year yet, except that I'm for sure going to be still doing the show. But I don't know. I don't know who's I'm going to be guest. I don't know what I'm going to draw. I don't have any of that planned out.
But it is sort of well, this is your less extemporaneous program, right?
Uh, well, this is yeah. I mean, very often this is the interview show. I definitely have got
Yeah.
plans, and uh,
Yeah.
it
Well, you can interview
certainly
me if you
when it
like.
started.
I'm ready for some questions.
Um, it was one drawing from each of the 50 years of the history of D&D.
Right.
So it was very much I knew next episode I'm going to be doing something from 1989 or 1990, right? And after that ended, it has more become I can do whatever I want, and I do stuff that is sometimes related to the person I'm interviewing, and sometimes just what I want to do because it's fun.
You got a little spammer in your chat with some.
I sometimes do.
Yeah, they're
You know
inviting
what?
you
Given
to
given how few people watch me on Twitch, I've really been considering. That's
cutting
the
it
only
loose.
place the spammers come from too, is Twitch.
Yeah, yeah,
So I've been considering just knocking it
yeah.
off.
They don't. Yeah. YouTube does a pretty good job. They used to have a lot more of a problem with spam
Yeah.
folks, doing all the things that they do. The one insidious one that I used to see was on Facebook. They would post and they'd reply to somebody in the chat and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, we have our new T-shirts live." And it was somebody who had just opened up a shop and started printing our stuff. Like it was very weird, very targeted, clever, but I don't think anyone ever fell for it. But yeah,
All right. So as if those of you who are watching, I filled that all in with yellow and then switched it over to white. And now, if I turn the background off, you can see that it's
there
all
we
white.
go. Again, I say your layer management is very nice. I don't. I kind of taught myself how to use Photoshop and layers and things, and I don't do a very good job of it. It's pretty
Well,
gnarly.
you know what? So did I, but I've had to get good at it because when you're not good
Yeah.
at it, well, you know what? To me, it's a lot like. And I was talking about this earlier in the week with someone. It's a lot like doing outlines for writing. I hated that, and I never used to do it. And then just because of my job, I had to start doing it, and I realized how helpful it was. And now I won't do anything without an outline.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, it is difficult, especially I think you gotta get the layer stuff down if you're doing things for other people, right?
Yeah,
Just in case. Yeah, yeah.
I've also
My
found it very useful um, on a lot of my drawings. I will because of the layers draw stuff that will never get seen, but makes that layer potentially useful on its own.
right, right. Do you ever go
So
back and grab or layers, or do you ever like think, oh, I maybe I want to use that piece for this other thing?
yes,
Yeah.
I've grabbed layers and used them for stickers, or
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
it also makes it easier when it gets around to the end. If I don't quite like how the characters are laying out, or there's a thing I didn't notice, I can, if I have completed it on a separate layer, I can move them around a little and not have to redraw anything because that bit's there.
Smart. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yeah. Stan and I often, as we meet, Stan and I, of course, we are partners in a media empire uh, called
The
the
Stan and
Stano
Troy
Show.
Media Empire, yeah.
That's right. That's right. And we often talk. We have our meetings on Sundays, and we have we just sort of think about interesting ideas or share little things back and forth for feedback. And we kept talking about that sort of color forms vinyl cling thing. And I swear
Yeah.
to God, I think about that at least 4 times a month, at least.
uh,
I'd love to see some of Stan's art. Like a wizard with like magic that you can kind of move around and
I would, you know what? Yeah, we've talked about this before. There have been
yeah.
2 or 3 cases where I've tried to find out from coder friends how difficult it would be, or if they would be more to the point, if they would be interested in doing coding to create an app like that, because I think
Yeah,
that would be fun and potentially could could be big. It's
yeah,
less so now than it was 10 years ago when it would have been really wild. And now it's
yeah,
like, all
yeah.
right, yeah, AI could probably do that just as easy.
No, I do wonder if you could vibe code something. It's just AI is such a toxic
Yeah,
mess of garbage. Yeah,
it is, ain't it?
it sure is, and they really are doing their level best to cram it into every corner, that nook and cranny, that you're just like, why do I need AI in this chat that I'm in? Like, I really have
Oh,
no
it
desire.
drives me crazy. I
Yeah,
hate Zoom. Like I can't turn on Zoom. It's like we're ready to set up the Zoom AI for you. Like I will never be ready for you to do that for me. No, I
I
do
know,
not.
I
I do
know.
not need your AI in my Zoom.
Right, right. And the way that they force you to, kind of almost trick you into doing it, I'm thinking of Adobe is just a criminal, a villain in this space where they
Well, you
add
know
a
what?
little.
I no longer use Adobe
Good for you. Yeah, I envy you. I do. I wish I need to grab that creative suite by what's their faces? Um, what is their faces?
Affinity.
Affinity, yeah, yeah. I had heard some rumor, you cleared it up for me, but that they were somehow forcing people to use AI, and they were making people pay, and it was Canva, right? Did Canva
Yeah,
take
well,
them
they
over?
got bought by Canva,
Yeah,
and there are AI aspects of Canva that are built into it
yeah,
if you subscribe. But if you don't, then it just works without it.
yeah, and it's the full thing. It's the full
Yep,
suite.
yep.
That
It's a
Yeah,
full
that's great.
suite. It's so awesome.
Yeah, the stability of the programs that I use for Adobe can be questionable at times, and so I've had a backup Canva subscription. I really like it. It's got, I mean, they do some things a little differently, but their customer service is real humans,
Yeah.
and they always solve the problem. And I really have always enjoyed. They have a different vibe for sure. Adobe, you just know they kind of cattle call you in, and if you've got a problem, I've been dealing with this a really severe Adobe issue for, I want to say now it's going on maybe 3 years, and it's absolutely the worst. It's like it's I'm shocked that I'm still using them, and they aren't, clearly, because they don't care.
Because where else are you gonna go? Well, now there's an answer.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. So I do need to work on my layer management. I don't even know what I would do um to improve that. Is there
Practice.
like layer management school?
No, it's just getting used to doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I just and oftentimes I'm moving so fast as well that I'm like, oh, what should I name this?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's you'll see in my layers they are almost all just numbered because I almost
yeah.
never take the time to name them, which is bad. That's bad layer management on my part. But um, I also
Well,
don't, compared to a lot of other artists, I don't actually use that many different layers.
right,
Um,
right, right.
but what I do, and I was talking about this last week, I think,
I'm with you, Linnea.
um, that I do group layers.
I do
So
too. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so like all of these, what's right now is layer three and layer four. When I'm done with them, or in fact, right now, I'm gonna make them a group. And now everything that's when I do the extra layer that will be effects on the shadows and such on those characters, they'll
yeah,
go in that folder. But then all of the effects are going to have its own grouping, and then the
yeah.
background's going to have its own grouping.
And then do you end up with your effects like that, sort of swirling around? Maybe it's watery, kind of an effect that's around the wing there. Yeah. Do you do those in pieces so that you can maintain the, like, its wraparound, and or do you, like, what's your trick as far as that goes?
I still have to reinvent the wheel every time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't really
I
have I don't have a trick.
Right, right. Yeah, and I suppose too, just given sort of each drawing is going to have its own unique little considerations, but I definitely more of a composite artist because I don't have the drawing skills that you do, but I find I can get pretty far, make some fun stuff,
Yeah,
make some really fun gifs, like of gravy squash.
of gravy swatch. Everyone loves the gravy swatch.
Yes, they do indeed. So savory.
All
Okay, so
right.
now what are we doing? Like, what's the piece of art? It's a
This
cover of something.
this was the cover of the second edition. Well, the second printing. Well, not even printing. It's first edition AD&D Player's Handbook, but it's not. There were
Got
two
it.
cover versions. One was the original one with the weird statue and the
Yeah,
the uh, rogues climbing over it, prying the jewel out of the
trying to get
statue.
high.
And then
Yeah,
this was in 1984 they refreshed the the core books, and Easley did the paintings. Jeff Easley did the paintings for him. This was a painting for that. Uh,
what the Magic Pope?
yeah, Magic Pope. I'm just trying to figure out what if this green gray is the right color for these guys. So hard to say. Maybe a
It
little hard.
definitely seems a little more. You got a little more gargoyle vibe. It kind of like greeny yellow kind of. Or is that the magic?
No, it's so he's kind of a
Oh yeah, it's
green,
mottled. Yeah, yeah.
a bluish green. But that's another thing that comes in doing these my style is I almost a lot of times these paintings do have that kind of subtle mixture. I just need to pick a color. It's a color. It's a
Yeah,
flat color.
right, right. Yeah, and you don't really do wet. Like he looks kind of greasy. You know, like your stuff is pretty dry. It's pretty matte.
Well, I just showered.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so do your listeners and viewers. Yeah, that's quite a hat this guy's got on.
It's not a hat. It's a hood. It's a half hood. He's wearing an
Oh,
eggshell.
oh, he's not. Is it that not a little hat in a hood?
Nope. Look, you can see the shadow of his head on the back of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was kind of coming over his head, and it was
It's
sort of
up.
like a kind of cone head.
It doesn't work in reality, but it works in the painting.
Look at that guy coming to grab his booty.
Woohoo!
Jump. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Read the room is not a skill AI chatbots have, right? No, I'm the same. Linnea talks about how she didn't feel forced to use Canva AI, where Adobe will literally slip in a new feature with a pre-checked box. So then when you use a function, like let's say resize, then
Yeah.
it will suddenly think you want it to resize. You know, it's gonna fill in the gaps after you resize it. It's like, what are you even? That's not even what I want. I don't need that kind of help.
I don't, I don't need this kind of complication in my life.
No, exactly. And always it ends up filling it up with something weird. You know, you've got like what you were doing and then an eyeball or just a random letter that just kind of it's like what is this? And stop.
All right. Let's see. So what do you got going on for the holidays, Troy?
Well,
Well, I
I'm going to
guess
be spending
firstly, your birthday. You're
yeah,
hanging out with your family.
that's right. Yeah, I'm well my brother is taking me out to a restaurant of my choosing and a fun bar. And so I don't know exactly what that'll be, and I'm gotta triangulate with some pals and sort of see. One of the things I just really hate is, saying, hey, do you want to hang out with me on my birthday?" I mean, generally, I don't say that, like, there's something going on, but um, this year I'm kind of just it's a little bit more low key. Um, not for any particular reason, but that I've just been really busy and haven't had time to answer the texts and things, and so
Right.
but yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna hang out with my mom and my grandmother and my aunties and my cousins. We generally just get together, and so my so my grandmother, she doesn't make this now, but she used to. This is a horrible thing to tell everybody in the world.
Say, we're live, right?
Yeah, right. Grandma doesn't know where I'm at on the internet. She wouldn't be able to find me. But and I would hate for her to find out. But when I was younger, Grandma made this salad. She called it a salad. First of all, it was a Jello of sorts, like a Jello
Okay.
salad, and the Jello had um, the recipe calls for pistachio pudding, uh, cottage cheese,
It's
horse
already sounding very 1970s.
horseradish,
Yeah.
um, and some other things, and it is very, very 70s. Like it's the kind of thing that you would get one of those round molds for, for
Yeah.
your aspic, your green salad by day, aspic by night, kind of situation. And I'm a good grandkid. I'm not gonna say "Bleh, this is gross. So I said, "Oh,
But it
yummy. This
was.
is Oh, it was absolutely awful. Like just so sweet, and then horseradish just kind of zinging around in there for some unknown reason because it wasn't for the taste. And she said, "Oh, do you like that? Nobody likes that." And I said, "Oh, I love it, Grandma. These people are
Oh.
monsters." That salad became my birthday dessert. It became like my grandma would make like big bowls
Oh
of it.
boy.
Two of them were for me to take home. Yeah. She yeah, it was awful. It was just absolutely awful. Now the thing that also is awful is that now I'm known to pull some pranks on my family. I mean, just be a little stinker. So when they saw
You?
me, yeah, I know, right? Surprising. But when they saw me stuck in this situation where I had to love this salad, which I did not love, they would make a big deal about it. Oh, Troy, your salad. Did you get your salad? Oh, your salad. Grandma made your salad. And,
Yeah.
even just months before Christmas or my birthday, they'd be like, oh, Mom, you're gonna make Troy salad, right? We want to make sure he's got his salad. Not Christmas or birthday without his salad. Um, yeah, yeah, and she did make it quite a bit of it, and I think I've probably eaten gallons of the glop, but I've thrown away more, which is it's a shame, but it's grandma. You
Right,
gotta
but
you
who's
gotta
who's gonna eat that? Right, yeah, got it.
yeah, yeah, and so yeah, so this year, my one of my cousins and I, we are hatching just a series of really fantastic sort of holiday gifts for the family. Like we like to sneak in like 3 or 4 extra white elephant packages, so
Right.
nobody really knows because they figured it out. They were like, we don't want Troy's, we don't want. So I would bring in decoys and I make them real fancy, just real fancy, and they would be just kind of just weird stuff. But I've gotten a coloring book of my face, like 12 different faces of mine. I got a one of those, those prayer candles. Those I think they're usually like for Catholic service or something. They're kind of tall and they're glass, and they have like a saint on the outside. Um,
Yes.
they
I've
made some
certainly
with
seen
me.
those, yes.
Yeah, me as on a candle like that. My mother has that in her collection of things that are
Wow.
my face on it. Yeah. And really, I mean, as I would say, I know that there are a lot of people who have the joy of the internet photoshopping their face onto things. But for me, it's been millions of things. I mean, I'm no exaggeration, thousands of things. Yeah, there's. they're all over the internet. But from a naked mole rat to two ardent cows having a special moment together, then I have
With
my
your
faces.
face?
Yeah, with my face. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite is the naked mole rat. That's the one that is my most favorite because I will share that with people and say, oh yeah, they'll say, oh hey, if anyone ever asks for like a baby picture or something, for something whatever it is, I will send that over. It'll be
I'm
my
surprised you've never shared this with me.
well. I'm a little disappointed that I haven't yet because there's so many different versions of it. I'll have to spring it on you at some point during the sumo show. It's alarming.
I'm so looking forward to it. I can't tell you.
Yeah. It won't. You can't really. You don't forget it. It's sort of. It's
You can't unsee
a
it.
no. It's a memory that lingers. It lingers, and there used to be on the internet. I'm looking right now and see if it's still.
Is
Oh
there a
yeah, if
toy
you do the
shop somewhere where I can go buy all these things?
right. Well, I should do a toy shop. Yeah, they used to. They put. I've been photoshopped onto clothing, underwear, um, tattoos,
Oh
like the
God.
temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It's yeah. I mean, they don't do it as much now, but I don't do a lot of like, I do disembodied Troy primarily because not because I'm fine with my face, but I just have what I call resting dumbass face, where I'm doing something. I just lose all expression. I'm
Linnea wants to know if you had it on air fresheners.
um no, I don't think I have.
Well, you could hang those
No, I
in
think
people's
I no.
cars.
Oh, what a fresh as a breeze.
That's
That
right.
would be. I
And
wonder what
they
the.
just come back to their car and notice you hanging off their rear view mirror.
Oh, that's a good one. Custom air fresheners.
Well
Oh
done,
my.
Linnea. When
That,
that's inflicted on someone, it will be all thanks to you.
yeah, I just gotta wonder like what the smell should be. They
Oh,
really do
I'm
this.
sure there are all kinds of magical smells you could get.
Indeed. I think the thing that's cool about this too is that it's sort of a because I do like to infiltrate people's Christmas trees with an ornament of some kind of or another. But wow, this kills so many birds with so many stones. Uh, yeah, this is
Why
great. What's
does
the
this
term?
tree smell so funny? That's not the tree. That's Troy.
Smelling of Troy. That's great. Yeah, this is choose your product, custom shapes. What makes your air fresheners unique?
You know what? I talk about this all the time, but I'm constantly sorry. I'm switching gears now. I'm
Yeah, of course.
constantly impressed by the what the brain does. Right? I've just added a few strokes of that yellow, but now that beard, the whole beard looks like it's a different color than the
It
robe.
sure does. Yeah, it
But it's
does.
not. It's all we saw it. It's all one flat white piece. But by adding those strokes of yellow,
It just makes
the
it.
brain reads it that way, and
It
um,
gives us some depth that it kind of didn't have before.
yeah.
It's sort of yeah. That's great.
And I'm going to do the robes too in a light blue. But I point this out on other shows where you can have lots of different off whites, and when you're painting, it's a like you were kind of say you've gotta mix them up and blah blah blah. Here, if you just keep it a single color but change the accent color, the brain your viewers' brains will do the work for you.
I like that. Now, do you have other secrets like that or other tricks that you've learned over time that you
I'm sure I do. I try and share. I on the Thursday show, I talk a lot about those kind of things as they
yeah,
come
yeah.
up. A little less so here because most of the time I'm uh, I'm finishing these drawings. I'm doing the color part of the drawings afterward, uh, offline.
Oh, I see. I see. So it's kind of like a cooking show where you
Yes,
kind of
yeah,
prepare, yeah,
yeah. Well,
bring it
the
back.
magic trick is the drawing, like the pencil drawing into the finished sketch drawing and the ink drawing. That's where it's really kind of it's happening fast and it's happening before your eyes. The
Yeah,
coloring is kind of a slow process
repetitious. Yeah, yeah,
and one that I have to think about, so it's harder for me to talk while I do.
yeah. What is this? Do you know much about the lore behind this little wizard?
The lore behind this little lizard.
Wizard.
Wizard, no. You know what? I was looking it up because very often these characters wind up having names. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was convinced that they at one point did a little action figure of this guy, but I couldn't find it. And all
Hmm.
the research I did pointed it to this guy not having a name. He's just the player's
Just
handbook
a,
wizard
just the magic pope fighting gargoyles
in the
in the
blue,
where
right? He's just
in the
yeah, no,
blue.
he's in the blue.
I'm looking to see if I can find some intel, but
Oh,
wow,
if if
that's
you can, good on you because let's say I spent some time uh, earlier this week trying to find out some details, and there just weren't any to be found.
is pretty cool looking. I do like that they've really they've really sort of secured old white men's positions as in fantasy. Like you could be a wizard, and yeah,
Like Gandalf hadn't already done that.
yeah. I mean that's what I mean. Like the whole it started way back in the day.
Oh, hey, speaking of Gandalf,
Yes.
there's a segue you don't hear very often.
No, not really. Well, I mean in our biz maybe.
Um, I just found out that on YouTube right now, uh, I forget who. I think it's the whatever the studio that released the movies. There's a channel. There's a YouTube channel that's just playing the three Lord of the Rings movies
Oh,
back to back to back, 24 hours a day. Started a week ago, and it's just rolling.
interesting.
And so
That's well, that's
you
fun.
tune in, and it's wherever it is. Though you can, since it's a live stream, you you can go back. You could try to find a start or stop, but you just tune in at any point, and there it goes. You can watch you some Lord of the Rings.
I think I glitched out there for a minute.
Lord of the
Um,
Rings live.
of the AD&D Player's Handbook, that there was some discussion about the wizard on the cover. He looks an awful lot like Ringle Run from the D&D toys, but the 1991 D&D trading card set calls him Aldar.
Oh, does it?
Oh, he was an
Well,
okay. So he was a
congratulations. You got more info than I did.
um yeah, but on accident. I really wasn't looking for that part. I just wanted to see sort of some imagery of him. But your image is quite. Oh, I see. I think that they've done something.
My image is quite. Whoop! And there he goes. He's gone. Well, he'll probably be back. Why is that? Come on, get off my my spam from my phone stole my screen for a second. Well, Troy sometimes has these internet issues. He may be back. Even if he doesn't come back, thank you, Troy, for showing up and hanging out and chatting with me. Merlin has them both beat. Yes, well, but Merlin's real. I'm not sure this gray is the gray. Now I'm in the middle of it. It's very gray, and I might want it to be bluer. Thankfully, I can handle that pretty easily, but I don't know. I'll continue like this. Collector's card. Maybe he. Yeah, well, that's what Troy was saying. But I would have thought that if he had been, it would have come up in the searches I was doing. I was looking for stuff like that. Of course, the fact that I didn't find it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means I didn't find it. My Google Foo is not the strongest. It's pretty good. Not not the best though. Looking up Aldar 91 card set on the AD&D wiki. All right. Well, let me know what you find. I'm not even seeing comments from Troy. So I don't know. I see people are responding to him. Hi, Troy.
I'm back.
Yes, yes, you are.
I don't know what happened.
I don't. Well, I don't. You just disappeared,
Do that sometimes.
and I figured it could have been. At the same time, I had a phone call interrupt what was going on here. A spam phone call, not even a good one.
Not even a good one.
And then
Yeah,
apparently
I'm
you were leaving
found.
some
So
comments here that I couldn't see. Oh, here is Troy. Oh, it stands still, bro. Okay, there you are. All right, got it.
so
The
you can
people
pick
were talking
up
to you. I'm
this
like,
card.
who? How are they talking to Troy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, I'm looking at trading cards. Yeah, Aldar is his name,
All
and
right. Well, I'm drawing Aldar. I didn't even know it.
yeah, he's I'm not really sure what the deal is with him, but yeah. Yeah,
Those
that's about
trading
all
cards
there
were
is.
weird.
Am I just having all kinds of ish?
Maybe.
I think I might be. I'm certain it's not my 500 tabs that I have open with different air freshener faces that I could buy.
Have you found any good sense?
I haven't found any sense good for the job. You really need something special if you're gonna, you're gonna get scenty.
You could have pina colada.
Ah, or a walk in the rain.
Or that. Or the taste of champagne.
Or none of those I think. Oh well, especially not the next one.
I really don't want the making love at midnight one hanging in my car.
No, 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 no. That's nobody wants that smell. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to. Or
I
I
love,
could
you know
actually.
what? I love watching modern reaction videos of people hearing that song for the first time.
Yeah,
Because the people in it are such shits. Right?
they
It
are.
never like people remember that as it's such a cool song and yeah, romantic. No, I mean it's really these are
Yeah,
people who are
cheating on each other, right?
cheating on each other and then get
Yeah.
back together and go, oh, what the hell?
It's
I
been. Oh,
guess we were
I guess I
both
wanted
just
to
bored
cheat
and
with you.
incommunicative.
Yeah. No, that's not a healthy relationship.
No, but it was a number one hit.
David Shepard says, I think the collector's card people just grabbed any old art and made up backstories. I think you're right.
Oh, that's exactly what happened. I don't know. There's no thinking about it. That's they decided that they were going to make that card set, and people got assigned. Here are the ones we're doing them. Make up some stuff for it. And
Yeah, and so many.
I'm sure that Steve Shend and a bunch of the designers from that era have stories about that.
I bet they do. Yeah, that's also just so many just like moments of fan joy or fan favorite sort of characters and things. How they come about is really so funny. It's sometimes it's just like someone just said that and they did that and nobody knew that particular
Right, the end,
character.
and then it turned out everyone loved it.
Yeah, then we had to make up some stuff about it. I do like it. Let's see. Uh, is that I'm gonna say this Lamasarex? Lamasarex? Said I explained to a new player that
Lamasu
D&D was
Rex. Lamasu Rex.
okay. All right. Was made by insurance salesmen, so it didn't originally have art direction. Is that true?
Um,
D&D was originally made by insurance salesmen.
so that is certainly one way to say it. Gary had worked as a shoe salesman and an insurance salesman, a lot of things, and I think he was working as an insurance salesman at the time that it was originally published. That, however, is a really that's deciding that you want to take the absolute lowest road in describing what happened. But I mean, the truth of it was this was D&D was made as a thing that was, mimeographed and given away or sold at meetings of 150 people of
Right.
gamers in the Midwest. So even when they did their first printing, it they had no idea it was going to go anywhere, and they
Right.
got
But
they got the best local artists they could find. It was
I was going to
kids from
say
the high school, and
there's a real earnestness in the way that it's presented and used, and it's I think that's part of, for me anyway, it's just part of the charm of it,
yeah,
just that.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But it is objectively awful. I mean, like, it is just, by definition, you
Yeah,
look at it.
except some of those people went on to do pieces of art which are now classics of fantasy art.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you see the way the worm is turned as far as art goes, you look at what the art was, and then how it evolved, and then you look at Magic the Gathering cards and all of the
Right.
like there are people still dining out on that, right? They built their
Oh,
whole
they
career
made a
and
lot of money, yeah, because they got the original Magic deal was they couldn't afford to pay them a lot, so they paid them royalties.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, some of those artists are, I met one, and I forget his name, but he had done a really significant card, some kind of lotus or something,
Yeah,
and was just kind of an interesting character, a little eccentric, but
really, an
but
eccentric artist, you say?
isn't that weird? Um, he wasn't like Fez eccentric. He was more like I don't wear shoes eccentric. He was a different flavor. But yeah, he just talked about how he get he that's what he lives off of is the royalties from the card, and they continue to pay him, and he continues to live live a life of artistic leisure without shoes.
Good for him.
Yeah, I say chase your dreams.
There
Just
was so when I first got to Wizards, um, there was a guy. There were a couple people there who didn't wear shoes. They just didn't wear shoes, and the
yeah.
HR eventually had to make a rule that you had to wear shoes in the bathroom. Um,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
when we first got there, within the first 6 months, Wizards had won like one of the best places to work in Washington State
Yeah.
competitions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the local news stations had done a piece on them, and this guy was they as they tend to do when they do these pieces, they find the eccentric people and make them the hook of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he was the guy that wound up on the news, and they kept they talked about he didn't wear shoes except he had to keep them in his desk because have to wear them in the bathroom. And the segment closed with him walking down at Wizards. We had the layout was there was a central spine. We just called it the spine down each building. The central
Yeah.
spine with cubes on either side. So it's just a shot of him, kind of low shot, little tilted of him walking down the spine with flip flops on because he was going to the bathroom.
Oh, not even shoes. Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. There, having worked in game dev for 20 some odd years, there is always that character that is just absolutely convinced that we are hampering our lives and health and all that by ensconcing our feet in sock and shoes, and just refuse. He also those are the same characters that'll bring in like toe socks or the one day this guy came into work and he had shoes that had toes
Yeah.
that he could grip the floor, and he said it really helped him in his daily travels to have that kind of grip, and I just would never know that that freedom of toe shoes, but yeah.
You will never know that freedom, Troy. You'll never know the freedom of toe shoes.
And shame on me, yeah. But no, yeah, yeah. That and I think just in game dev in general, every once in a while you'll get a fragrant individual, somebody who is maybe they're so focused on the task at hand that they forget to adequately cleanse.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to tell any stories about that.
Me either. Yeah, I mean, I'm just what? I get a sample pack. Sorry, I'm still looking at air fresheners and as low as 29 cents. No. How can
Twenty
that be?
nine cents per. Yeah, if you order enough of them,
I order 5,000.
could be. It's going to be some number like that.
They're not. Oh,
So
I see. I see.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, no, please. I was just going to say, I wondered if I could get like a custom cut, which I know would be more money, but I have a very a shapely head, and I want to make sure that it's well represented, in air freshener. But no, go on. What were you going to say?
No, no, I want to talk about the air fresheners a little more.
Yes, yes, yes. A 50-piece minimum.
Now, I
And
bet you can get them cut. Like, I mean, at this point, it's all laser cutting, right? As long as it's a single shape, I bet you can get it cut
yeah,
to almost anything
yeah.
you want. It's like the stickers. Like, I got my stickers. My New Year's stickers came in this week.
Let me see.
Well, you'll be seeing one in the mail sometime soon, but
I love it.
every
That's
year,
awesome.
for those who
Yeah,
don't know, every year I do a sticker of me dressed as these lunar zodiac
that's so
animal of
good.
the year.
I like it. Is it the year of the horse?
Next year,
I forgot what I
2026,
am.
year of the horse.
I think I'm a rat or something.
Rat was a few years ago.
They kind of come back around, yeah?
Every
Right?
12 years.
Um,
So it would have been when you were 48 or
you don't know how old I
36.
am. 28. Uh, yeah, 12-year-old something something, and it was maybe I'm the hog donker or something. Is that an animal?
The hog donker?
Yeah. Yes. Uh, I am the pig.
You're the pig.
I'm the
That was a
pig.
couple years back.
So personality traits, they're often described as generous, warm-hearted, truthful, excellent at resolving
So if
conflicts,
I come over here, where is it?
valuing justice.
It's going to be in my e-cards, yes. Down here we can see I started the first of these in 2017, was the year of the chicken.
That's so great.
2018 was the year of the dog. You can't see the ears because I've got these as transparent background. So
Yeah,
then the year of the pig was 2019.
I love it.
Year of the rat was 2020. Year of the ox.
These are great, Stan. I love
Year of the
them.
tiger. Haven't I? I've sent you some the last couple of years, right?
Oh, yeah. The last couple years, I've gotten.
So I don't know if you got the rabbit was 2023. Then
I don't think I
last
got a
year,
wrap.
or the year of the dragon,
Yeah, I think
2024. Year of the snake was last year. The only one
That's
you know what, you
great.
see, all of them are me dressed as them. I tried to make it of me dressed as a snake, and it just didn't look right
It's hard to do. Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
and then
great. That's a fun
horse.
solution. These are so clever. Very fun.
These are inspired by when I first went to Japan. When I got there, I arrived right before New Year's, and a person that would go on to be a very good friend of mine. Uh, she and her family had bought me a package, a welcome package for my apartment, and in it was a plush doll. I'm guessing that 2027 is going to be the year of the sheep, because it was a sheep with a horse costume. You could pull the hood off, and so it was a horse or it was a sheep.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and so I loved that thing. I wish I still had it. I don't know whatever. I think I lost it in one of my moves somewhere, but I decided that was my. I'd use that as the inspiration for these stickers that I do each year.
Clever. Yeah, really clever. Well, you could go and pick up a onesie for each of those.
I could.
They make them.
Let's consider what the likeliness is.
Well, everybody, it is Christmas time, and I think Stan needs to be able to dress up as the Chinese zodiac. So we should all get him a onesie, or onesie twosies of onesies.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a
big
onesie.
enough that my onesie is probably a threesie.
I love it. Yes, they do custom cuts, by the way. Interesting. I think I might have to do, Lene, I'll report back and let you know what I do, but it'll be something my family won't soon forget. What I want to know about the year of drawings is who drew the pictures while Stan posed in those costumes? That's a good question.
I'll never tell.
Stan always keeping secrets, always defending the shadowy organizations.
So
I
it's
wonder what
funny.
should...
This remind. Oh, go ahead, because I'm about to fly into a
No,
story.
please do.
I was going to say this is reminding me of another drawing in Japan story. When I got there, I wanted to. I went out and bought like some poster board and paint and some stuff to do little drawings. And as I say, I got there right around the beginning of the year, and there's lots of people wearing kimonos to celebrate the new year, and all over TV and everywhere I could see them walking around. And I decided I wanted to draw a drawing of a woman in a kimono. And so I did. I just did the drawing and then used the poster board to paint it. I've still got that in a folder back there. Um, and so it's this drawing. I gotta change the angle so I have more screen. It's a drawing of her standing there like this, with her hands clasped in front of her over her obi, kind of looking away over her shoulder with a, just kind of looking away, thinking about something. But it was a very tall and thin piece, and I felt like the drawing needed something in the background, so I put myself there, sitting with a pad of paper, drawing.
Yeah.
You couldn't see what I was drawing, but I'm drawing her, and to show that I'm working hard, I stuck my tongue out in the drawing.
Yes.
And so I did it, and I brought it in to the school I was working at. I told them that I was an artist, and they wanted to see what I'd done. So I brought in these couple of pieces I drew, and they looked at it and they said, "Oh ho ho, who's she? Huh? Who's that?" I'm like, that's not anyone. I know. I just drew this, and like, no, come on, you can tell us, because apparently I'd gotten the kimono 98% right, but in the obi, in the belt, there's also a rope that's supposed to be tucked in, and I had it hanging out.
Oh no! So that
and I had her with this coy look on her face,
and
my tongue was sticking out, which apparently was a strong conveyor of arousal, idiomatically.
Sure.
And so
sure.
I thought I had a cute little drawing of this woman in a kimono, and they thought I had a drawing of me going, "I love Japanese women."
That's so great. I love that. Very, very funny. I don't know why this is. I'm not going to talk. No. It's too. What's the word? Prurient.
Prurient.
Prurient. Oh, that's a hard one. Prurient.
It's hard. Yeah, prurient is the word.
Prurient. Yeah. It's inappropriate, but hilarious. Stan needs a onesie fund. Yeah.
No, I really don't.
Stan's onesie fund.
There was one person back at when AFK Eaters and Elixir was open here in Renton. There was one person who was saying they were going to make me a Totoro onesie.
Oh yeah, that's great. I do like I liked that place. It was kind of fun. I spent a lot of time there. I'm not really playing games, but
Me
I
too.
would rent it out for video games. Is their Everett location still up and running, or are they
Nope.
done?
Nope. They closed a couple of years later, right around COVID. But it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
because of COVID. It was because their lease was up, and the guy that owned it wanted to do something more that would make him more money.
I
The guy who
see.
owned the building, so they wasn't going to renew. Like both that site and the Renton site, they refurnished buildings that were falling down, that were
That's
just
right. Yeah, yeah. That building in Everett was just a
yeah. No,
shambles.
she told me I was very good friends with I still am friends with the owners of that, and she told me about when they came to tour the Everett place. They had there was a part that was basically needed a, a a bridge to walk across it because it was just disgusting swampy
Yeah.
slime in the middle of the building.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. It also had this bright emerald green carpet that was just so obnoxious. But no, I really liked them, and they were very supportive of any of the games that I worked on.
Yeah,
They did a mural, in the spaces for us. And that was when I was working in California at the time on
huh.
WildStar. They're just they very very cool,
Yeah. No, they were
super
awesome, awesome
yeah,
folks, and they were great. Both of those were great locations. I spent so much time there.
a lot of good. I mean, it was really a community hub, right? A lot of
Yep,
really
yep.
fun things going on there. Yeah, it's a bummer to see that not have not continuing on. I note that there aren't a lot of sort of fun community spaces like that anymore. There used to be quite a few. I guess we still have what is that place there in Ballard?
Yeah, we still
Ballard
have
and
Mox,
Mox, that's right. Mox is pretty
and Mox.
cool.
Mox is in both Ballard and
And
um,
Redmond or
in Bellevue.
Bellevue. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I like those folks.
I do too. Mox is not as um, Mox is a better business,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's
and
a
it's a
it's a
little
worse. It's not as good a community place as
it
AFK.
it is very they've done a great job. I mean, it's very
Yeah,
professional.
no,
It's
they've
very
succeeded. They've done a great. They're a very successful business,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't
AFK had a
want
little
to
bit
go
more.
hang out there as much as I did at AFK.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like AFK felt a little bit like your living room, kind of. Like
Yeah,
it was definitely comfortable and well worn. I wonder what there are so many great restaurants that I don't even know where I'm gonna go to eat. Because Stan, where do you go for you go somewhere? Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah, it just closed down. Very sad.
uh,
Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse in Renton, which
yeah.
just closed.
Oh no! Did you know that was coming?
Nope, they just announced it on Facebook, and I was like, "Wow!" So, are you? Can I come in this week? And they're like, "Nope. Yesterday was our last day." The end.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Yeah, there's not a lot of I don't know. There used to be just
You know,
some. I don't think
that's the thing that
anymore.
hasn't bounced back since COVID. Is
Yeah,
is the going out to hang out?
yeah. Now, Michael and Chat, to answer your question, it was a restaurant first and foremost, but you go there and get food, and then you could also go and just play games and both
They
like
had a
board games
library of
and
games. Yeah. They,
yeah,
now the thing they had was that the Everett location was succeeded because it had a very active bar. It was
Yeah.
busy every night, and that's where they made all their money. And the
Yeah.
Renton location, Renton was just not a place where people went to hang out late at night, and
No, that
it
neighborhood too
never,
just
it was always on the verge of not making it because of
yeah,
the fact that they couldn't
very
do enough
industrial.
business as a restaurant to cover it. It just
I'm trying to
couldn't.
remember, what did it used to be before they took over it was it was a chain
It
restaurant.
had been the Keg,
That's what it was. That's right. I remember.
but it
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah,
been for a while. And
yeah.
the
It's
people
sat
that ran the
empty for a
Keg, so the Keg is a national chain, big in Canada, still big in Canada, but
interesting.
it's the people that had the local license for it were they weren't so good, and they did not take at all good care of uh, that restaurant. So
Yeah,
when the AFK people uh,
yeah,
got the lease, and I knew they were there, I said, "Hey, can I come in?" They said, "Yeah, we're going to be here all day. Come in." And I did. And I was saying, "Ooh, it looks so different." Like, "Oh, you've been here? You need to explain some of this to us." And they took me around and showed me things like, "What was this? Why was this a salad bar? Because it didn't function in any. It's not good for any of the things that they did that they used it for. It was not up to
right.
code. It was not up to building or health code." It was
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, very yeah, and also just that area too is just not. I mean, I guess you're lucky to get what, the cranky overflow from IKEA.
Well, there
Like that.
used to be a movie theater across the street from it,
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
but
that's right.
even by the time they took over, that movie theater had died out, and it was in the process of being turned into a used car lot. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Did they
but
tear that
oh,
building
and
down?
that building had such a rat problem. It
Oh,
was
ugh,
they
those
had to
rats.
they fought so hard to get the rats out of that place, and every time they thought they had it, they'd be building
Yeah,
some other area and they would discover another nest, and they'd have to do the
yeah.
whole building again.
They are just those rats. They just, we had a rat come into the house, open the door, sit on the couch, start eating our food. No, it went in and I guess it was looking for water, but it chewed through laundry, like this water hose
Oh god.
that only was wet when the washer would run. And so we didn't know that it had happened until we ran a load of laundry
Oh
and
god.
left and came back. And basically, it's the kind of thing that stops once the drum is full.
Right.
And so it wasn't filling the drum. So it just filled everything else. It was a
Oh.
disaster. We were on the top floor of this it was a mixed use, like, business in the bottom, party up top, if you know what I mean. And and you could see when we came home, we could see that there was this seam where the floor was, and you could just see it dripping water. And the people underneath us were, um, they had a boutique fly fishing setup where you could come in and tie flies and learn how
Okay.
to. Yeah, so that means animal pelts and feathers, and they
Oh
were so.
no.
It was a disaster. But fortunately, we all had insurance, and when they tried to figure out what it was, and we've been already kind of arguing with the landlord to say, you gotta take care of some rats. The rat problem is happening, and they found the rat in the drum. It was pretty bleak, but
The rat.
the rat in the drum. Story by
That's an
Troy.
Edgar Allan Poe story, right?
It is. It is. Remember, remember the soggy
The
rat in
rat
September.
in the drum.
Yeah. Water mess, the worst kind. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, Seattle restaurants. What if I type Seattle fun restaurants?
Do you remember Entros?
Yeah, why do I remember that? Is that like it was sort of a like a fun. puzzles? Did
Yeah,
it have a chair as a
it was today it would
South Lake
be
Union?
an escape room place, but it was just
Yeah.
um, a bunch of games. It was like the kind of games that get built for corporate retreats.
Was their
And
logo a chair of some
yep,
kind, like some kind of
yep. There's a
chair? I remember
chair
that.
outside the building, a red chair in a
Yeah,
circle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How fun! I do remember that. Down was it over by 13 Coins?
I don't know where 13 Coins is, so I don't know. It was in South Lake, Washington, or South
Lake
Lake
Union.
Union.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I've just found some images of it. Have you ever been to Archie McPhee's?
I have.
It
So the
feels like
funny
a
thing was
neat
when we
place.
were in Lake Geneva, when we were several people used to order from Archie McPhee's regularly. So we'd have the
The catalog. Yeah,
catalog and knew it. So when we moved out here, one of the first things we decided on was we needed to have a weekend where we were going to go to Archie McPhee's and make a pilgrimage.
yeah. Did you go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I've been
wasn't
several.
nearly as worth a pilgrimage as possible. It was a fun one-time
It's
trip.
fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely they kind of have expanded and contracted over the years, and kind of moved up and down that block. But they're yeah, it's a cool place. It's really fun. It's fun too when you see
I
the
bought
employees that are
Yeah,
the action figures, or yeah, it's funny.
I've got a few things I picked up there still, but it's full of weird stuff, like stuff
Yeah.
they just picked up. And one of the things I bought was a replacement uh, dial for an old rotary phone.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's right, because they
just
had those little
it's just the
pins.
rotor, and
That's awesome. But yeah, that's a place where you could get a fez, not a or something wearing a fez. They have quite a few of those, or a smoking baby, or
I don't know what I don't know what you're thinking with fezzes right now, but I've got 3 fezzes. I'm a fez guy.
I like them. I bring them up because of you. You are a fez guy. I try to do a hat, like a fun hat or a weird hat, like a cool signature hat, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't. I do a baseball cap. That's what I'll do. But that's really all I. I think a fez just makes me look taller, and I'm already 6'5".
Well, all right, if you say
Yeah,
so.
it's funny. But I don't know if you've seen South Lake Union nowadays.
It's very
It's
different.
been it's been very Bezos.
It's been Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, real Bezos, and not in a good way. I don't know if there is a good way, but uh, I have seen Michael in chat says that many of the friendly local game stores are adopting their core business model as like snacks and games and beer, like
Yeah.
craft beers and stuff. Because
Put that
I'll
down.
say with the
Oh, you know what?
TTRPG
I
stuff,
didn't even come back. I've been drawing. So yeah, we're mostly done with the characters now.
nice. What am I doing? Oh yeah, restaurants.
Lamasu Rex, also a Fez guy. Good job. See, I don't have any
Nice.
Fezes out here. They're in the bedroom, but I've got my Stetson. I have an actual Stetson.
Oh, I have one of those flat black hats, that
Yeah,
sort of look flat and black, but which I like, for a costumey kind of thing. But
yeah,
some odious characters were seen wearing them, and I was like, darn it, that hat's dead to
yeah.
me.
That's like a leather duster. You can't wear those anymore.
No, you cannot. Yeah, yeah. Those are the signature of the malcontent.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, so now I'm at the point where I need to figure out what I'm going to do about these special effects.
yeah, what are you going for? So you trying to get that smoky? Is it smoky?
Well, so before you showed up, I was talking about the fact that we zoom in because these are done as paintings. They're not very linear. They're not lines, but I draw lines.
Yeah,
So I've
right.
had to interpret them in a way, and I
Sure.
have. I've got. Turn off the colors here. We can see that I've got designs for what I want to do, but now they've got to be over the top of this. And here's the other thing where it come in. Again, they're kind of white.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And until I put a background in, I might have to. I usually do the background last, but I might have to do the background next. So I can figure out
Well, that's
what colors special effects work well with it.
Now, would you or do you go with? Would you go with the darkest of blue and then make it sort of lighten up as it gets around the magic? Like, what's your order of operations for that?
Well, so what I do is turn off this layer entirely. So we've got just the sketch. And then I'm just going to do the background like there's nothing there. So we've got a...
I see.
It's dark blue with a...
kind of, the lighter blue is
so
it.
I think what I'm going to do is the middle blue as the flat color. So what I'll do is put a flat color of the middle blue, and then build both the darker and the lighter colors.
And will you do those as then separate layers and stack them on top of each other? Yeah.
So we come. Oh, you know what? I need to let this pen rest for a second. I found out last week that if I go too long, the pen doesn't have enough juice. It requires me to stop. Now it charges very quickly, but if I actually use it for 3 hours straight, it's empty, and it just quits without any warning.
Have you been going for 3 hours now?
I've been going for not quite 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, might also be a sign for you to, take a break.
Yeah. So when I do the interview shows, it's an hour and a half. When I do the drawing, like this work in progress show, it's a hanging out and chatting. And, if I get a guest on, I tell them, you stay as long, tell me when you want to go and you can go. But I just hang out. If I'm going to take the evening off and draw, I may as well do it in a live stream.
Yeah. True. Yeah, why not? I mean, that's just it's economical time wise.
Michael in chat said, "What happened to the leather dusters?" Well, a lot of the it started with Columbine, but it became a fashion of the disenchanted loners, and became.
It actually started with the Matrix, is where they were.
Yes, but that's where they became cool. They started becoming uncool because they were connected to
mass shootings. Yeah,
mass shootings.
Yeah. Yep. A bummer.
Chris says, "What do you think is the backstory of the scene?" I think the gargoyle started chewing on the mage's beard.
I think so. I think
and the mage got pissed.
Yeah, he's like, "I told you once, I told you twice, Shazam!
Don't chew on my beard."
It does look like there's some practical jokery going on here a little bit, like the one behind him popping out just to get a bite of that beard.
I guess while I'm waiting, I'll turn the colors back on so it's not so boring on the screen.
Michael Jack goes, "Oh, that, yeah,
yeah, oh that, yeah, oh yeah, mass shooters,
yeah, real bummer."
That's why we can't wear leather dusters anymore.
Right. Looking at these and how no minimum quantity, 11 different scents. Huge choice of scents versus 11. I wonder what the huge choice is.
Oh, I was gonna. Tell me, what are the scents?
Well, I'm trying to find it, but I'm looking at the
huge choice. But we don't tell you what they are. But it's a huge choice.
No, But I'm looking at this, and it's for you can buy 1,000 for about $1 a piece.
All right, that's more than you
That's
want to spend on that.
for 100. You pay $3.95. Yeah, Kendra, I kind of feel like it is the wizard has been taunted
Yeah.
and bothered by these little creatures chronically. Okay, where are the scents, you scent hoggers? You scent hiders, air
So,
fresheners.
yeah. So I mentioned
Yes.
that I got the stickers this week, and
Yeah.
I'd gotten my holiday cards, so I got them all sent out today. I was waiting for the stickers, and so I had filled out all the holiday cards in the meanwhile. So when the stickers came in, I just had to slap them in the envelopes.
Yeah.
I'd address them. I'd stamp them. Everything
Nice.
was all set. I just had to pop the stickers in, seal them up, and I took them off um, to the post office. I still have a couple, like my Patreons. I need to send them out to my Patreon backers. Um, but other than that, the holiday
Good on you.
cards are
Yeah.
done.
That's I've always wanted to. I've done it a couple times, but I've never been able to really pull my shit together and get
Yeah.
things,
So here's the
out. But
problem with it. I've found once you do it, you have to keep doing it.
that's right. Yeah, people. Yeah, they like them, and yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to scent your stickers with ylang ylang? I don't know what that is,
What?
but I bet it's ylang ylang is one of the scents that they offer.
I have no
Ylang.
idea. Ylang
Yeah.
ylang.
There's also ocean.
Okay.
There is kettle corn, yummy.
Mmm.
Italian rich Corinthian leather.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Cantaloupe. Ugh. Cantaloupe makes me
It doesn't
physically
sound
ill.
good.
No, it makes me angry. They have a barbershop. It
It
smells like
doesn't
grandpa's
sound.
hair.
No, I don't really want the smell of a barbershop.
Oh. What is this? Cigarette floating in a beer? That sounds I just made that one up. Scotch. It's butterscotch. It's
Butter
butterscotch.
snitch? What?
I thought it said butter snatch, and I'm not even sure what that would be,
Wow.
but
All right.
black
You
freeze.
know what?
Oh,
That
bread.
just reminded me of my time doing college radio.
Did it?
Because I don't know if have you ever done radio? So
Yes.
you've got the disclaimer you have to read every time you accidentally.
That's right.
When you
Yeah.
said butter snatch, I started reaching for the disclaimer.
That's so funny. It's so funny because you got to report it, right? And
Yeah,
then they
you've got to record. You got to log it.
yeah, and they were really strict too about things like you couldn't send a message or something because it was some kind of a violation of the Communications Act or something.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah, it was a different time. That's for sure. That was yeah, I forgot about the tension of
That
that. I
was
did radio for 7 years at a community station, but we did it every week. We had a
yeah.
show, and we did it for 7 years. It was a lot of show, but they were they were not ready for us. We was and we were we tried hard, but sometimes every once in a while
It's the
a
butter
shit.
snatch hour.
It's the butter snatch hour. Ay. Sweet water.
Sweetwater. Okay.
I'm dubious of that aroma. One's just called fresh.
Fresh.
I'll be the
Okay.
judge of that. Baby powder, boo. Bourbon. Grass. I don't know that any of these. You can also just get unscented. I guess maybe you got a home brew.
It's like, I think that would be maybe the funniest trick of all is give someone an unscented air freshener.
You gotta activate it. You gotta
What does it smell like? What, can't you tell?
Japanese squash. That is a. Do they have cotton candy? They don't. They do have cinnamon candy, incense, and tangerine peel.
Okay, that's like a potpourri smell.
Yeah, yeah, I guess, yeah. Ah, they have your favorite pina colada. Even I'm not making a joke about that. I love it. A mixed berry, no thanks. And just one is just perfume.
Oh, just perfume, perfume, because
Just
all
perfume?
perfume
Yeah.
smells the same.
Yeah, no, these are all, oh, meadow. Yeah, all of these are probably gross. Well, back to the drawing board. Hey, listen, I have my own personal timer as far
Yeah,
as
yeah. So, all right, no, but I got one more thing, and then I'll let you and
yes,
your bladder go. Uh,
yes.
um, so I mentioned the cards, right? My holiday cards. I was running late, and weirdly, they showed up first among all the. I have to order the cards, and I have to order the stamps, and I have to order the stickers. And I ordered them in that order. In
Yeah.
I ordered them in stickers, then stamps, then cards. But they arrived in the reverse order. The cards, I tell you, Vistaprint is a weird little shop that doesn't do high end printing, but boy, they just bang stuff out.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and the cards just showed up. Like I didn't pay for expedited shipping, and this card showed up in less than 4 days.
Wow. Okay. Are they local?
No, no, they're regional, but
Yeah,
um,
interesting.
yeah. So the card showed up, and then the the stamps that I ordered showed up, and I was waiting for the stickers, and the stickers finally showed up. So
Nice.
I did that calendar. I've been hawking that calendar for the last few weeks, right? And
Yep.
so I wrapped it up, and I put an order in uh, for the shipping because I get prepaid shipping envelopes
Yeah.
to keep me from having to go to the post office with a pile of stuff,
Yeah.
and I ordered the uh, calendars, and I put the order for the stuff from the post office in early because I if I get some extra of that, I can always use it. I put in the order for the calendars. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, I think I wonder how long it's going to take them. Like I really don't know. I might not get this until late December, or maybe even early January if they're really booked up. So I go and I look, and it says shipped, and like like I didn't get an email or anything telling me we've completed your thing, we're shipping it.
Yeah.
But I looked in and I put the order in Monday morning, and by Monday evening they had printed them all and put them in a box and sent them off to shipping.
Wow. Wow. And where are they shipping from?
They're out of New York. They're in the in New York
Okay.
City. Uh, so
Fascinating.
I don't know. Now it's going by ground. Like I got free shipping, but it's going UPS ground. But there's a there's a not zero chance that the calendars will show up before the postage does.
I'm looking forward to
Because
getting my.
the the post office still hasn't finished printing my
And
labels and
they're
sending
literally
them.
in your neighborhood.
Yeah, but they don't do it. They do it at their regional office, right?
Oh, do they? Okay.
I ordered online. I went to the post office online and ordered prepaid uh, shipping envelopes,
I see. I
flat
see.
rate flat rate shipping envelopes. So gotta wait for those to show up, and it seeming very likely that the calendars themselves will get here first.
That's funny. I'm looking forward to the calendar. Hey, is it a cube calendar or what's a wall calendar? Like a 12-month
So
flipped calendar?
last year's was 6 by 6.
Yeah.
So it's opened up to 6 by 12. This year's is 8 by 8, so it's 2 inches bigger.
Nice.
But it's still going to be same. I can grab one of these off the wall.
Nice.
Wait, I don't have to. I've got one over here. Here we go. So yes,
Nice.
over here.
Yeah, I love it.
This was last year's or this year's. So it's like this, only 2 inches bigger.
Cool. I love it. Looking forward to it. That's a good size.
Me too. Me too.
Now here's something I didn't know.
But
Custom scratch and sniff stickers.
oh boy.
I mean, I suppose anything could be scratch and sniff if you really sent it.
So does that have butter snatch?
I don't know, but I think we invented a whole new aroma, butter snatch. Sounds like a monster, maybe, like something.
Hey, Michael wants to know if there's a Thursdage tomorrow.
There is indeed. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific will be the last Thursdage of the year.
Yeah,
and it will also be my birthday. So
well, I've got to make sure I show up for that. Who's going to be on?
We don't plan it like that. We don't know.
Oh,
no, I think we're. I think we'll have Duke on, and we'll talk about. We have to revisit our little. We have to revisit our the big dragon scenario that's just run off the rails.
So if folks aren't watching it, I don't know what you'd be doing here and not know about Thursdage, but over on the Green Ronin Publishing on YouTube or Facebook, you have a Thursday show called Thursdage at 3 p.m. on 3 p.m. Pacific. Also, Mutants and Masterminds Monday.
Yep. And we do that at the same time, 3 p.m., but on Mondays, hence the name. And we have a lot of both of the shows are really, really fun. But it's don't come for highbrow deep dives into the
not like here. No, it's not highbrow like here.
That's right. That's exactly right. You'll get no butter snatch on my channel. But
oh, I bet we will. I bet tomorrow there's going to be some butter snatch.
Yeah, I think so too. It depends on if I start my birthday libations. I might start. Maybe I'll do some, drink some beer or something. So they're both fun. We have a lot of good times. A lot of very interactive. And that's silly, good times. But we also do some interesting stuff. Mutants Masterminds, of course, all about Eminem. And we've got Alex and Steve on there.
Mutants Masterminds, the only superhero role-playing game
at all ever. And it's often people get upset because when they realize it, their first. I think that they're in some kind of mourning, and then they're in denial, and then they get in the comments and they get all mad about it. But it's not my fault, friends. That Mutants and Masterminds is the only superhero TTRPG known to man. I mean, and they've had some time to figure it out. Yeah. So,
butter snatch and gravy squatch. Oh my!
That is something else. Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it feels like a monster of some kind. But maybe because what I might do. So I have the adventure gravy engine that I made last year, and I don't know that I got a good distribution. So I might play around with that in the morning and see if I can't get a good layout.
The adventure gravy engine.
That's right. You take your D6 and roll you up some gravy. Yeah.
Wow.
So. Yeah, it was fun to make. And then the other the Mutants Mastermind or gravy was the Silver Storm gravy that you can customize, and then it kind of determines what kind of gravy you got, or power gravy of a
power
sort.
Gravy.
Yeah.
All right.
Power gravy is I think that is a brand unto itself. But also Spravy, that is brilliant. And I know that somebody's going to steal it and make a Spravy.
Spravy?
Because, like just a little spray of gravy.
God.
Just a little on your neck and your wrist to keep the scent alive throughout the day. And
There are two completely separate, equally horrifying ways that could go wrong.
yeah,
And one is that
yeah,
it's actually lumpy gravy that comes out of this spray, and the other is that
yeah,
it just tastes like artificial gravy.
yeah. Because there is that smell that I've only learned about, or that I was exposed to because of Archie McPhee's,
Yeah.
and they have a scent, some kind of a meat based scent. It smells like bouillon. It's not good. Good. But yeah, maybe I'll pull out the Adventure Gravy engine and give it out to folks so they can experiment with making some gravies.
That would be great.
Yeah,
That would be gravy.
that'd be great. Stan, always a delight, my friend.
Thank you for coming
Uh,
on and spending some time and keeping me from losing my mind.
you bet,
And
you bet.
happy
Well, you're
birthday!
always
I will do my best to be there for the Thursdage, maybe even your
yes,
office hours.
fantastic. Would love to see you, and yeah, and friends come by, and I'll do my level best to get that gravy, the Adventure Gravy engine running at a nice pace so that you can all make some gravy. But I got to run
All
before
right. Yeah.
before I have
Before the thing happens, got it.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye,
Stan, take care. I'll
Troy.
talk to you tomorrow. We've got our show on Friday, right?
Sunday.
Our show on Sunday, I mean, right?
Sunday.
Sunday at 7.
Sunday at 7 p.m. The sumo show Bonenkai year-end party,
End of year.
year-end celebration.
We're doing something a little different this year. It's
Oh
very
yeah!
fun.
In fact, go to our. If I wish I should have the same pull-up you do, saying go to our Facebook group, but I don't have one of those. Yeah, we got
Yeah,
a
go
Facebook
to
group, the Sumo Show. Go check it out.
yeah, yep. Go
All
check it
right,
out.
Troy,
And
go before you explode.
literally, my eyes are watering. All right, bye everyone.
Bye, Troy. And there we go. Troy joined us. Let me come back here. All right. Am I going to do some more drawing right now? I think I may. I think I may actually call it an evening too. But here's where we got on this particular drawing. All of the characters are colored and shaded. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do. I think the next thing I'm going to do is the background colors. And based on how they look, that will let me do the special effects colors and have them stand out. Because if I do the special effects and then the background color clashes with them, that's not gonna work. So yes, there we go. Not done, but improved upon. Thank you all for joining me tonight. And thank you, Troy, for coming in and hopping on. Very much appreciated. And thank you all for hanging with me this whole year. Let's say this is the final show of 2025. Next week on Wednesday, it'll be Christmas Eve. And the following week, it will be New Year's Eve. I hope that you are doing fun stuff, even if you don't celebrate those particular festivities. I hope you have some fun here in the end of year holiday season. I'll be back tomorrow night with another episode of Random Encounters. Oh, hey, before we go here, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe. That'd be great. And after we wrap up, leave me a comment. Say, happy end of year, or go have some butter snatch or whatever, and I will respond. I try to respond to all of them. You can, of course, always consider joining my Patreon, patreon.com/StanX. As I said earlier, people who are patrons at a certain level get a holiday card with sticker from me every year. And I've got to send those out. So if you want to join up, if you get in before the end of the month, I'll make sure I send you a holiday card. And if you just want to keep on track of what's going on here, well then 50 years in a dungeon.substack.com is where to go join our free newsletter, you'll be the first people to see the finished art when it's done and get the insight on what's happening next. And hang out, have a direct line to the old Standmeister here. That's me. I will be back tomorrow evening with the final episode of Random Encounters for the year. And so we'll do some drawing and have some fun. Until then, everyone, please take care. Thank you again for a year of fun and encouragement. I'll be back next year. More interviews, more not improv cartooning, that's Thursday. More cartoon homages to a large group. You can, if you're interested, through the newsletter or comments. If there are things you think you'd like to see me do a cartoon homage to, leave a list. Tell me what they are. If you can leave a link to where I can see the image, that would probably be even better. But I can do some research. And then we'll see, because right now I've got the 52 of the D&D ones. You know what? We got a minute or two to spare. I'll come here and we'll look at this. This is what I've done for the show so far. Right? We started down here with the very first one based on the original D&D box. And we've got, you can see as I'm scrolling up, oh, you can't see anything because I took it off screen. There we go. The original D&D box, the Knight on the Dragon. The Knight on the Dragon is too small, on the horse that's too small for him. And we went up and we've got all of these drawings here, many of which have been either in the 2025 or 2026 calendar. 52, 53 drawings. I think it's 53 drawings. And then, starting here with the Demon Lord, we got new ones. These are the ones that were done this year. We did the Demon Lord and the Super Team Handbook for Mutants and Masterminds, which Troy was talking about, and the Shattered Obelisk D&D adventure, and another Jeff Easley. I'm working on a Jeff Easley tonight. This is the Monster Manual 2, and the Riverbank, and Fantasy Age Source Core Book, Volume 2, and the Book of Dungeon Encounters from Phil Reed. And this is from Dragon issue 86, one of Denny Bouvet's classic chess covers. And the cover from the 2024 Gen Con program. And what we were working on last week, the Northland Sagas cover. And working on this one this week. We still have done this year. This is from Dragons of DL8, Dragons of War, and Dragon Magazine number 98. So, yeah, still got those to go. But we got a lot going on, and there will be more. That's what we've done so far. What will we do in 2026? I guess you'll have to come back to find out. So, until then, and as Michael reminds me, coloring book stuff coming in 2026. Absolutely true. There will be more coloring book pages, and maybe even a coloring book. So coloring pages and coloring book, maybe, coming next year. Look for that. All right. I've now definitely been babbling too long. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I will see you next year, or tomorrow,